What's up everyone? So I ordered a computer that does not power on, which I guess the issue could potentially be the hard drive, because anytime you get a computer that doesn't have boot, that it means it's the hard drive that's the issue. So I'm gonna inspect it and I'm going to see whether the hard drive is like cooked or not. If the hard drive's cooked, maybe I can fix it, or I can use the other previous hard drive which I recently repaired to run my Linux system on that. This computer is not all fancy because this computer I bought it and it was listed as broken and not booting up. So when I heard not booting up, I'm like, okay, this is actually something perfect. It's gonna be a fun build to see what I can do with it. Alright, now let's look at the specs. Alright guys, so bear in mind, this is a super old computer. Came out about like in between 2006 and 2010, around that region. This is when it came out. It has 4 slots of RAM which I can insert into these RAM slots here, but the downside is that it uses DDR2 RAM, which is the type of RAM that have this kind of configuration. If you can compare it to a DDR3, you'll know the difference. So you might think that I have all these RAM sticks and like now I'm over the roof, like I can game like a monster or whatever, but then if you look closely, you see that these RAMs are 512 MB RAM sticks. Using 512 MB DDR2 RAM sticks in 2026 is quite crazy. But it doesn't really matter, because even though the 512 MBs, I'm not going to be using this thing for any like heavy sort of gaming or like browsing or whatever. I actually want to run a Linux system on this thing. The hard drive has no operating system, so it's just a rare plain clear hard drive, and it's an 80 gig hard drive, but I plan on replacing that 80 gigs with the 500 gigs hard drive which I fixed. If you want to see that video, you can just go down on my TikTok page and scroll through all those videos. You'll see it's a video where I fix a 500 GB hard drive and I reuse it, and that has Zorin OS, which is a Linux distro. This computer is quite dirty, so that could also be a reason why it's not switching on. So I'm going to actually clean it properly before I try booting it up again. So I'm going to run this PC on a test. I'm going to power everything on, connect it to a monitor, and I'm going to see if it turns on or not.
Things you do